Sorry, the wife was talking.
What's going on, Pride Nation? Welcome back to another DSA Roundtable post-game show. And we have Packer fans in here this time. If you heard the circus music, the clown music, that's all I can give them. It's all I can give them. Listen, as people funnel in here, I will make sure that I add them. Jesus. Okay, people. Let me just have a minute to not really lose it. You're gonna hear the kids in the background. I'm at that point where it's like whatever. Like I'm just whatever with it because this team, people, I'm telling you, there's some things that I am not going to allow to happen today. And that is because I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the fire Patricias or none of that. I don't want to hear that. Okay. But let's introduce our panel. We have RachelMarieSports. What's going on, Ryder?
What's up, Luke? How you doing?
Man, listen, I'm good, bro. I'm good.
And
I told you, my emotions are based on expectations.
And before we do get into it, I'm just going to let you know I'm going to repeat Fire Patricia a couple times today, so just be prepared.
Okay. Listen, then we have Mr. Jim from Lions on the Prowl. What's going on, Jim?
Nothing much. I feel just as good as I did before. I kind of called it. It wasn't going to be close, and it wasn't close. And, I'm going to be on the Fire Patrician bandwagon as well.
Oh,
I've been on it for a while, so, hey, I got to do what I got to do, man.
Then we got Mr. 313 J-Mo. What's going on?
What's good, man? Look, I'm like Jim and Luke. Like after their first game, I'm like, oh no, we trash. Like I told y'all, bro. Like didn't I tell y'all after that first game? I said, fire Matt Patricia if you want to have any chance of salvation this season, man. So like me, you, and Jim expectations was right. So I'm smooth.
All right. Then we have our first Packers fan, which is Old Timer Dave. What's going on, Mr. Dave?
We're doing good. Thank you, Detroit. I do appreciate the win. And I'm going to jump on the Fire Matt Patricia bandwagon myself.
I mean, I got to thank you, Old Timer Dave. Y'all solidified his fire in the day.
Listen. Okay, now we got Mr. PD Sports. What's going on, PD? PD only going to be in for a little bit, but what's going on, PD?
Nothing much. I'm glad that they didn't give us any hope in this. Well, I guess they gave us a little hope at the beginning, but they just went in there and took the L. Good job. You just took the L. You didn't give us false hope. Didn't do nothing. Just took that L. Good job, I guess.
And then we have our other Packer fan. I don't know. We're missing one. I sent them the link, but we're missing one. We have our other Packer fan, RageMk. What's going on, Rage? Uh-oh. Rage is quiet. What's going on, Rage?
He's on mute.
Uh-oh. What is he doing? I don't know what he's doing, people. Listen, let me just go over my quick notes. Let me just go over my quick notes. Okay, first thing first.
My bad. How y'all doing?
Okay, all right. I see you now. You in here? Are you in here? All right, listen. Let me go over my quick notes, people. Positives. I believe that you should always start off something with a positive statement first. Positive. The Lions scored on their first two opening drives. That was phenomenal to see. They scored on their first two opening drives and played damn near perfect in the first quarter. Another positive. The Lions were 5 for 5 on third down before that penalty from Obuchi. Okay, so that's another one. That's a you just can't beat it. Another positive. The cornerbacks were somewhat physical at the line of scrimmage, so that's good. All right. I tried to squeeze in some other positives, but by the time the game ended, I had to erase them. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Sorry, I had to laugh. I can't help it.
I had to erase them. Let me go over some of the beds, people. I was called crazy, an idiot, a fool, foolish, and a host of other names for saying that we should have moved on from Matt Patricia after the first season. I repeatedly said that we should have moved on from Matt Patricia, and we should have followed suit with what the Cardinals did. And I was told he's changing the culture. He needs more time. He doesn't have his guys. It's toxic people in the room. What else did I hear? You don't know football, right? That man is literally.
Don't forget, Matthew Stafford was hurt.
Oh, that's Matthew Stafford was hurt. No, can't forget that one. This man is what, 0-10, 0-11 since last year.
Yep.
Yeah, 11-game winning streak or something like that, or losing streak. I mean,
yep.
11 games in a row.
He's 0-2-1 in opening week. He is 9-24-1 overall record, 0-5 versus the Bears, 2-3 versus the Packers, and I'm not even going to discuss what he is against the Vikings. Okay. Rather than do this, I just want to give y'all the foundation of where we at on this. I'm going to open the floor up to you, Ryder. Tell me what you thought about this game.
It was bad. That's the first thing. Again, kind of like last week, the running game was there, but the Lions didn't use it. Adrian Peterson averaged almost 6 yards a carry. Kerryon Johnson looked pretty good today, in my opinion, averaged 4 yards a carry. DeAndre Swift looked good out of the backfield, caught 5 passes of his 5 targets. I thought the running backs played pretty well today in both the run and the pass game. Stafford had his moments. He took another stupid sack today that shouldn't have happened on the goal line, but at the same time, I don't think he should have been put in that situation. I think that's something Darrell Bevell should have just been, hand the ball to Adrian Peterson, let Adrian Peterson go do work. And I feel like the Lions on offense put the ball in Matthew Stafford's hands too much.
Hold on, wait.
Maybe jump, low key.
Did you just criticize the offensive coordinator?
Yeah.
The offensive coordinator is criticized. I'm muting you, DeadPizza, because you got a lot of background noise. So you gotta clear that background noise up. Listen.
Am I not allowed to do that? I feel like that's pretty justified.
No. Listen. I just want to have a little fun today, okay? Because everything you said has been spot on. I just gonna have a little. Listen, y'all gonna hear a bunch of sound effects today. This is a have fun show today, okay?
Hey, I haven't got to the defense yet. Oh, just wait.
I was gonna say you don't want to hear what I was gonna say then.
Okay.
You don't want to hear what I was going to say.
Keep going, Ryder. My apologies. Keep going.
The penalties were horrible today. I don't know. I lost count. I stopped counting after halftime how many penalties we committed. Jeff Okudah struggled in his rookie first NFL game, NFL debut. That sucked. I think he'll get better with time, but he definitely had his struggles today. Will Harris is awful. He should be cut. Him and Patricia should not be allowed back to the Lions facility. Jamie Collins got pressured today, which was good. What else did I have? Chris Jones is horrible. We should get him out, or Christian Jones, whoever, the linebacker. And I think that's it. The defense didn't play very good today.
Okay, listen. I'm gonna give everybody a chance to get their spirit out. Jim, what are your thoughts on the game?
I thought we started out really well, like we usually do. I thought we did this. We took every weapon that we had out of our arsenal, put it all away. All the grenades and the big guns and the tanks, we threw it all away. And guess what we did? We brought out a baseball bat. That's what they do every week. They go away from what works. But I have a damning stat. We keep comparing Matt Patricia to Jim Caldwell, right? But I have a comparison that's going to blow your mind. Matt Patricia's head coaching record after this first 34 games is 9-24-1, right?
That's worse than Rod Marinelli. That's what I think you're going after.
Yep. Rod Marinelli is 10-24. Mic drop.
Go ahead. Listen, this is a good. Hey, just go ahead.
That's even with the 0-16. God damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he's worse. I can't even say. I mean, that's it, man. The defense was terrible. You go away from the one thing that's working because you feel like you're smarter than everybody else in the room. That's what it just makes me keep feeling like. You know, don't just keep going with the running game that was working really well. You know what I'm saying? They look really good and sharp on offense. They were beating them 14-3. How does this happen? Because you're stupid.
Green Bay woke up. That's all I had to say.
They
But
woke
it's not
up,
my
and
turn.
I don't disagree with you, but we went away from a lot of things. I'm just going to blame the Lions. I'm going to give you
Yeah, I
guys
don't
credit
know.
too. No, I want to give Green Bay credit too because they played a heck of a game, and you know what I mean. They really did. They played an outstanding game, but it's just ridiculous when you're up 14-3, and you can't. I mean, 2 weeks in a row you can't hold a lead like that. Ridiculous.
All right, listen, we going down the line. J-Mo, what's your thoughts on this game?
Man, like I told you in the chat, man, I got better football teams to watch, so I ain't gonna be on here that long. Man. I don't got time. But look, like I told y'all last week, Fireman Patricia, if you want to have any hope of salvaging the season. But with this game, like you said, first 2 drives had me confident. And what did I say on Twitter, y'all? I love the fact that I have my stuff documented. We scored the first 2 drives. I was like, all right, now if y'all want to win this game, you got to keep it up because y'all need 35. And that's literally what I said. And they didn't keep it up. We threw second quarter before we gave the ball back to the Packers. We threw 7 straight passes after Kerryon had just got a first down. And after we threw 7 straight passes, we went away from our philosophy, and Kerryon didn't get a touch in the second half. So when I'm looking at it like that, we were winning the game. The moment we started to get pass happy, they play a little defense, and we get a penalty, and now they get the momentum. And then I think when they got the ball back, and then they scored after that sack. So it was just terrible. Like I said, whole team was great first quarter, and everybody was trash after that. You know, just rebuild Trey Stafford to a contender so he can not be on this trash franchise. I just don't know how you can be averaging 6 yards a carry, 4 yards a carry, and you don't run the ball anymore. Like, I just don't understand.
But that's not true. That's not true. They ran the ball when they were down 14 to like 30 something or 34, and they were feeding DeAndre Swift.
Man,
I'm just saying, we're not going to act like they didn't do that. Okay?
No, they didn't do that. So, no. 7 straight passes after Kerryon had just got 10 yards and 2 carries. And then they end up we had to kick the ball away because we was out of field goal range. So
I got a question.
Played really good, but I feel like this will happen. The team who makes the most mistakes loses. We started making a whole lot of mistakes. Every mistake, Aaron Rodgers capitalized. And then our defense was like, yo, we ain't showing up in this half. And Aaron Jones
Ain't gonna let nobody.
I was like, oh, it's a wrap. I'm like, it's done.
Listen, I got a question. Can somebody explain to me how does Adrian Peterson have the performance that he have in week 1 and Kerryon get to start and get more touches than him? I'll wait.
Because AP is old. And Kerryon was all right. So, I mean,
let me ask another question. Let me ask a better question, okay? Can somebody explain to me, you on your 7-yard line, I
knew it was coming.
Drop back pass.
And you call a pass play that pent up when the weakness of the Packers is their run defense. Can somebody explain to me what that was? Just I'm not the hardest.
I wanted to get to Okudah also.
He should have went first overall.
Let me talk about. I want to talk about.
I knew the defense was gonna be trash. Like I told y'all, we had to score 35 to win this game. So, but Okudah, man, I told y'all I didn't want him on Devontae Adams, bro. He cooking that boy, doing moves he never seen before. And then this
hold on, J-Mo, hold on. Don't just make it seem like he got cooked by just Devontae Adams. Everybody he covered. Everybody he covered.
Struggle.
All right, listen. Let me hold on, J-Mo. Let me get the Packers in here. Let me get the Packers in here for a second. Old timer Dave, what did you think about that game? Obviously, your team won. What is your thoughts on this game?
Well, I'm going to refer something that somebody in chat said. Tom Grossi made a comment. You're welcome. We're just trying to help you get Patricia fired quicker.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Tom.
What did I say? Thank you. Y'all gonna make sure that man get fired. And Arizona's gonna make sure for sure next week.
like like I told you earlier, if they fire Patricia, Bevel has to go as well, because this game, 90% of it was all on Bevel, straight up, and that's what I saw. Yeah, I mean, y'all ran it right down our throats. I mean, and I even said that in the pregame. That's what was going to be the biggest problem.
Listen. I'm just gonna put it out there, people. All I heard for almost a full year was how crazy I am. And I kept telling y'all that there was coaching errors that I was looking at. I didn't care about the result. It was the coaching errors that I was having problems with. Now we don't went through the whole. You know what? Let me go through the list of things. Let's see. First, it was he doesn't have his guys. All right. That's okay. We got that out the way. He didn't have a full offseason. Okay. We got that out the way. He's changing the culture. Yep. He's certainly doing that. He is not building with that part of it. He got that on lock. He doesn't have his coaches in here. Okay, well, he went and got those. Man, our strength and conditioning and linebacker coach suck. Well, we hired new people there. What else we hear? He didn't have Stafford. Well, Stafford in the game. They still taking these L's. Well, all he needed to do is get a run game. He refused to run a damn ball. Okay. I mean, what excuse is there left? Anybody? Matter of fact, let's have a little fun. What is the next excuse that they can give us?
They were injured.
Injuries.
Oh, we already had that. We already had that.
Can I say something about injuries?
Go ahead, Ryder.
Hold on, I gotta find this because I saw it earlier and it was amazing. Okay, so the 49ers today in the game they just played lost their starting quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, center, both defensive ends, a defensive tackle, cornerback, center, and the backup center. And they beat the Jets 31-13.
Wow.
Hold on. Wait, here we go. Let's bump this over here to you, PD. What are your thoughts on the game?
I don't really have much. I almost didn't even come on because I'm speechless, but I don't really have much thoughts. It was bad by everybody. Everybody is definitely responsible for what everybody's responsible for what happened. I mean, it felt like we were on defense forever. I don't know. I can't count possession numbers on there, but it felt like we were on defense forever. They ran it down our throats. I mean, the second half, I was that's a bad tone setter. Like you put the 70-yard run on the first drive of the second half. That's not a good way to set the tone.
Which was Jamie Collins' fault, because if you look at the play, you'll see Jared Davis take his gap and smash the center into the other gap that was supposed to be filled by Jamie Collins, and he got caught up in some blocks and couldn't get off. Here goes some of the excuses that people got so far. So rebuild time, COVID. I got 2 votes for COVID. We got what the general review said. They basically said, listen, where he said Silverback Scott, number 20, says Okudah had no business being drafted 3rd overall. This organization sucks at drafting and developing players. RageMk, what is your thoughts on this game, man?
Well, I'm gonna need y'all to lay off Okudah, bro. Because
I agree.
We still need to understand this dude is a rookie. Cornerback is the second hardest position in this league to play, behind quarterback, of course. Like, it is legitimately.
Can I push back with you? Can I push back with you? All right, I'm gonna push back. I'm gonna tell you why we should not lay off of him. Okay. Every Lion fan knew that we had the biggest issues at freaking D-line and linebacker. And
now
we knew
some more pushback.
Wait a minute, hold on. And we knew that cornerback was a position that takes time to learn, which something that this coaching staff didn't have because they were put on a mandate to win now or be out. So why waste that pick on a player who's going to take at least a season or two? And you did nothing in the offseason to truly help aid him in being a good corner while we're helping with the pass rush. So,
but no, you can't say that. They definitely did. They got Trufant. They got everybody.
Everybody
just injured.
He was hurt when they went after him.
But that's not Okudah's fault. When you looking at that draft, nobody wanted to trade up. Nobody wanted to trade them for that pick. You can say that y'all could have got Isaiah Thomas all day. But bottom line of it, it is hard to. I'm gonna put it to you like this: it was no available legit elite corners if y'all would have got Isaiah Thomas or Isaiah Simmons. It was no legit elite corners available for y'all to go pick up in free agency. But it was a legitimate linebacker for y'all to go pick up in free agency.
Yeah, but here's the problem though, Rage. Here's the problem that you're gonna lose me on a little bit. Okay,
I'm listening.
Here's the problem. Rumor was that Okudah was a Bob Quinn pick. Rumor was that Matt Patricia wanted Derek Brown. So now you have a general manager and a head coach not even on the same page.
Yeah, but that's a rumor. That's not.
Oh, wait.
Not to mention, but you
listen,
just.
I don't think that's a rumor at all. If you look at when they selected Jeff Okudah, if you look at Matt Patricia's face, he looked like, okay, whatever. That's what his face looked like. He didn't look excited about that pick.
But you just proving my point even worse. That's not that kid's fault. That kid got picked by y'all. The only thing that y'all can do at that point is coach him up and teach him and tell him where he needs to be.
Well, I get that. I get that. I get that. But
you can't say
what I'm
that
saying
he's
is
a
this.
bust. You can't say that he's a bust.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Y'all are poor at
Hey,
development.
Rage, I'll explain it to you like this. With our other first round pick, if in win down year you don't select TJ Hockenson number 1 overall, that's stupid. You select something that can help you.
Right now,
you don't select a corner because it can't help you. When you see year 2, look at TJ. Year 2, Okudah might be good, but we in a win now year. You don't select TJ a tight end or a cornerback in a win now year. You just
y'all are not in a win now. Your organization,
in a win now
year. Your coaching is in a win now.
They got to win or they fired.
But as an organization, y'all are nowhere near a win now mode. Y'all organization is.
I disagree. We were 9-7 before he got here.
Hold on. First of all, I think what Rage is not understanding. I think he's assuming that we are just saying that he's a bust. What we are saying is this: when you take a player 3rd overall, hold on, listen to what I'm saying. If you take a player 3rd overall. The idea is that a player who comes in 3rd overall, i.e., not a QB, not a quarterback, he is supposed to come in and be able to help this team. This man was getting beat on the same routes I saw him in college. I turned my TV up for 1 second and happened to hear the commentator say, "Oh, he never went against receivers who run routes like this in college." When I made that point, I was told I was crazy.
But the thing about it is, bro, like I said, y'all made that pick. So it's y'all job to develop and turn him into the number 3 pick that y'all picked him to be. Especially with the cornerback position. You know the cornerback position is one of the hardest positions ever. Even if you number 1 overall.
But let me ask you this, Ray. Let's say for the sake of argument, he's going to be elite someday. But someday ain't right now. And that's what I think is our issue. Like, there is no way we could have coached up Okudah to be, even if we had OTAs and everything, there's no way we could have coached him up to be good enough to cover Devontae Adams in the first start.
Okay, so
like, there's nothing you can do about that.
So you know what you do? You call the white lady that owned the team and you tell her to fire John Lynch. Ain't that our GM?
No, Bob Quinn. No, yeah, Bob Quinn.
You tell her to fire Bob Quinn.
Here.
Just went to the 3rd overall pick. If y'all really think that he wasn't,
but that's our point, Rage. That's our point, Rage. What we are telling you, Rage, is this. Okay, I want you to hear me good, Rage. What we are telling you is this. There was a mandate that was put out on Patricia and on Bob Quinn that they need to be contenders, okay, for the playoff this season, or get out, okay. And what I'm telling you is this, that I am telling you that many of us have come to the conclusion, later than most, that it is time to clean house. There's no more excuses for this, because right now you're 0-2 in the division to start this season. You're 0-2 in the conference. You own no tiebreakers. We're going to go up and play the Cardinals, and I know they can't deal with mobile quarterbacks. So we're going to see it, and I'm not saying that this is all on Okudah's fault. What I'm saying is he was put in a lose situation from the get-go. But Lions fans were so excited because all they kept telling me was, and I quote, "We got the best cornerback in the draft. We got the best running back in the draft. We got a potential first-round pick at linebacker at outside linebacker who would have been a first rounder had he not been hurt in this draft. And none of those are helping. They told us that he didn't have his guys. Deron Hartman stands there and waits for a contact, and that's terrible. But give me your thoughts on the game, though, Rage.
I mean, it was your typical Green Bay game for me, honestly. You let the opponent get up, you make your adjustments, you start slowing them down, you eventually, lock them out for a quarter or two, and then the offense will keep it. They eventually go find the rhythm, whether they find it early or late, but they go find it, and then it's just go run the score up after that.
Yeah, listen. Now, Steve-O says Okudah didn't even play that bad. There was way more to be upset over this game than him. We're not just saying that this all lies on the laps of.
Right,
we're not saying that.
Can I say this though? Nobody being hard on Okudah. Stafford fucked up too, but
Stafford was horrible.
The point is, he shouldn't have been in that situation. Just like Stafford should have been in his. Okudah should not have had to come save the day when he's a rookie cornerback like that, and it should have been some other things done. Like it didn't have to be a defensive player. We could have took an O lineman, but it's just a lot of things. So I'm not going to be hard on Okudah in his first game, like because I know what to expect. I knew he was going to get cooked today. I told y'all that. I'm like, they put him on Devontae Adams is over, and they did it.
When we drafted him, I knew he was going to have a hard first season. And I remember we had a roundtable where I went through the entire schedule, and I said, these are the receivers he's going to face. Nobody in college he faced near that. I made a whole video saying he wasn't worth a top 10 pick. Not because I think he's a bad player, but because I think that you have to set him up to do it. When teams like the Browns took Denzel Ward, when Marshawn Lattimore was taken by the Saints, when Jalen Ramsey was taken by the Jacksonville Jaguars, you know the difference between those teams and the Lions? Those teams went out in free agency and built up a complete pass rush team. Completely. Pass rush and linebackers. Their defenses were built so that the cornerback can thrive. Deron Hartman, I'm sorry. He ain't it. He is not a starting safety in this league. I don't care what nobody say. Y'all already done told me I was crazy about so many other things, but Deron Hartman is not a starting safety in this league. He's just not. I
thought he did a good job.
But let me ask y'all this. On a different note, give me one thing that was really good that came out of this on the Lions side of the ball.
Can I give my thoughts on the game?
Oh, you know what? My bad. DeadPizza, give me your thoughts on the game.
First of all, I really want to talk about what I saw from the Lions. Because this is Lions, YouTube, I want to give an honest assessment of what I saw from them. First of all, the D-line was disappointing. I think I brought this up in the Discord. I said Lane Taylor is gone. That's our starting. I think he's our starting right guard. He was gone, and I always think he was a draft pick. I forget his name, but he was an undrafted.
Lucas Patrick.
Yeah, Lucas Patrick.
And Lucas Patrick ain't no slouch, so you can go ahead and pipe down.
Yeah, Lucas Patrick.
He is not a slouch.
Lucas Patrick. I ain't saying he's a slouch, but at the same time, like, come on. So I was saying, okay, Lane Taylor's out, Lucas Patrick is in. All right, cool. I'm expecting a little more push from the defensive line for the Lions. Not crazy amounts, but just some fight, All of a sudden, they're just breaking them off. Aaron Jones is just breaking them off. Jamal Williams is breaking them off. And Jamal Williams, he's not even an inside run guy. He's breaking them off no problem. And that's when I start to realize, I'm like, are y'all gassed? What's going on? And then secondary, I brought this up. I brought this up too. I made a little joke about, I don't know if y'all seen Boondocks, but as you seen that episode with Granddad, they on the bus and they said, ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. That was the secondary. They just weren't turning around. I'm seeing MVS burning dudes and he turned around. Nobody was turning around. I see a whole bunch of defensive holding calls in the secondary. It was just sloppy. They went from being extremely sharp to sloppy, and they got even sloppier. And Devontae Adams got pulled in like midway during the third, and they got sloppier. And Jeff Okudah, he went out there and he did his best. To be honest with you, he's a rookie guy. It's gonna take time for him to develop, but he can't be getting burnt by guys like he can't be getting burnt by special teams guys like Tyler Irvin.
What?
He got lit. There's a route.
Bro, oh my God. Okay, you making Green Bay sound bad, bro. I want you to know something. MVS runs a legit 4-3.
I said Tyler Irvin.
Tyler Irvin, bro, he runs a legit 4-4.
Tyler Irvin is not a no. Listen,
he is a speedster. That's why he stay with this.
I'm not talking about a vert. I'm not talking about a vert.
I just love all this Packer on Packer crime. Let's keep this up, people. Let's go.
I'm not talking about a vert. He can get burnt on a vert.
He's saying Okudah is not good. Bro, everybody on that offense are legit 4-4s or higher.
I know.
Devontae.
You can tell he outran Okudah though. Like he just outran him.
Everybody outran Okudah.
Hey man, I'm just saying on that play that you're talking about, he just straight up outran him.
Yeah, but in Okudah's defense, he ran him back down and caught him.
Oh my God! Do y'all not?
I'm not talking about the NVS play. I'm talking about a play that y'all probably didn't even see. Tyler Irvin, I think it was a shotgun. Tyler Irvin, why somehow Okudah ends up on Tyler Irvin. Tyler Irvin hits him with the meanest out route I didn't ever seen in my life. And Aaron Rodgers just so happened to miss that Tyler Irvin's wide open. And I mean, Tyler Irvin, yeah, he's a fast dude, but he ain't no route runner.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't remember.
He's not no route runner.
He runs a 4-4. He runs a 4-4.
All right, hold on. Let me bring it back. We getting off track. All right. Let me just bring it back. All I think that DeadPizza is trying to point out is the guy is losing battles to people who are not natural, nuanced route runners. That's all he's trying to say overall.
Exactly.
And that the speed only came into play when he lost control of the guy he was defending. But
MVS is not a route runner. He just outran him. So what are you talking about? You can literally outrun somebody if you're faster than them.
Yeah, I know.
That's
but
what
I think
MVS did.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
That other play, he got burnt and Aaron Rodgers missed the throw.
He just missed him.
And here's another thing. Here's another thing. We don't want to spend too much time on Okudah because Okudah wasn't the biggest problem.
Yeah,
Can we first switch it up to this? Because I want to talk about this too. Where was this supposed where was this supposed defensive depth that we talk about at the cornerback position? Because it seemed like they was out there struggling, and it wasn't just him. The secondary was bad. The defense is just bad. And listen, people, we have a literal rocket scientist, like a literal guy who got a degree as a rocket scientist, and this defense can't figure out. Like this whole bend don't break defense is a joke, a absolutely joke. Like,
oh, that's what y'all was trying to do.
That's what it's called. They call it bend but don't break. Let me do this.
Well, the same would have worked better under Caldwell, who's not a defensive coach.
Listen,
that was literally Green Bay last year.
Hold on. We got too many people talking. If we can't let the other person get their point out, I'm gonna just start muting you so we can hear everybody speak. We have 75 people in the chat. We got 23 thumbs up, 1 thumbs down. Can we get those lights up, ladies and gentlemen? That's just the bottom line. All right, I want to make sure we hear everybody. So let me just roll this back around a little bit, okay? First thing,
Luke, we lost you.
First,
Yeah.
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
No, I can't hear you.
Yeah, we got you right now.
Okay. All right. So here's my question to you, Ryder, because I want to know, just for the sake of it. All right. Tell me this, Ryder. What was the biggest takeaway from this game? Your biggest takeaway, Ryder?
That our coaching staff just isn't good.
Yeah.
In general, our coaches can't coach football.
They didn't.
Okay. What was your biggest take, Rage, from this game?
Never sleep on teams because you never know what they can do.
Okay.
That's my biggest takeaway.
All right, Jim, what is your biggest take of this game?
I think it shows how bad the coaching really is in Detroit. I think it shows that the players aren't as good as what we thought they were. But it's 2 games, but it's very telling. And I think when we were talking about Okudah and it's more, we're talking about the decision making of the GM and the decision making of the organization rather than the player. So I want to get that out there, because it almost sounded like we're like trashing Okudah, and we're really not. It's just the decision making process of our organization that we have a hard time with.
Okay, DeadPizza, what was your biggest takeaway from the game?
Packers got some work to do, in my opinion, and coaching, defensive coaching. I didn't like the defensive coaching from the Lions at all. I mean, if you know, let's say what I forget his name said about our wide receivers are fast, and you got Devontae Adams and you got Okudah. You wouldn't think to say, okay, let's give Okudah help. Maybe give him some help over the top with a safety or something. Give him something to rely on so he can really play his game. And there was just nothing. When it comes to defensive coaching, if you got a guy out there that needs some help him. And it seemed like they were just out-coached. And it seemed like they had no answers for anything. I mean, that's just it.
PD, what was your biggest takeaway from this game?
My biggest takeaway is that we just hit rock bottom. I think that's what my biggest takeaway is. Like this game, honestly, you can say the Jets game was rock bottom, but honestly, I think this game was the absolute worst. This was the rock bottom game for me personally. But yeah, that's my takeaway. We hit rock bottom here. So hopefully there's only one way up after this game. That's my takeaway.
What's your biggest take from this game, old timer Dave?
I have to agree. Our defense needs some work. I don't know how they're going to pull this off, but they got to do something with the run block or run stop. And the Lions need to pick a game plan. Had they stuck with the run like they were and the short passes that they were coming across the middle, they were just eating us alive. And they got away from everything that was working. But that seems to be their MO, so to speak.
Actually,
we'll do this for a little while, then we're going to start throwing it all over the field.
Can I say something about?
Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Let Dave finish. Dave is finishing. Go ahead, Dave. Finish up your thought.
Yep, I'm done.
All right, now listen. Let me jump in here for a second. Shay says it's easy to blame the coach. Then who should we blame? Tell me right now, who you blame for this? Who do you blame for us going on a 10-game losing streak? What is the new reason that we just can't win? What is it? He ain't got his guys. It's injuries. What is it? I mean, hell, they didn't even play Devontae Adams for I think almost a quarter. They just let him just chill.
They play on the fourth,
right? Like just let them chill.
Half the third.
So what exactly is it? Who is supposed to get the blame for this? Now I'm gonna tell you my biggest takeaway, and it's one that I'm not happy to point out. But I saw this earlier, and it came from the general review. It looked like the team conceded that game. Once they got up, it was like they gave up and they quit on the coach. They didn't seem to care as much. It did not look good to me at all. I thought that my biggest takeaway from it was just that, like, yo, they don't even want to play no more. They just trying to get out of here. And Matt Patricia looked like he was starting to see nail after nail after nail going into the coffin. But to you, Shay, directly, because you're still saying that it's easy to blame the coach. You tell me who should get the blame for this. Because if not the head coach, who? I just want to know who. What was your biggest takeaway from this game, J-Mo?
Galladay is definitely missed, and the defense is trash. But same takeaway I had from last game, man. TJ Hawkinson is so good. Like, I wish he would get the ball more. Like, I just don't understand how he isn't getting like 10 to 12 targets a game when Galladay is out. Like, we didn't even get a ball to Cephas, so it was really Amendola, Jones, and Hawkinson. So why wasn't he getting more catches? But we have called some good plays for him to use his abilities, but the dude is a stud. Like, he just need more opportunity, and we ain't doing it. You know, classic Lions.
All right, let me ask y'all this. You know, I believe in trying to find some light in this tunnel. Who, if you had to give a game ball to somebody on the Lions, who would you give it to?
No one.
I'll
kind of on it. Yeah.
I'll give it to Carry On. Look,
So we got
Carry on.
Johnson.
he played well.
Carry On played very well.
you know.
I don't even know.
Okay, this Lord G says no one. All right, let me rephrase the question. Instead of giving a game ball out, you know, what was the one bright spot that you saw from the Lions, like in terms of offense and defense? We'll start this off with you, Jim. What was that one bright spot?
Oh God. Why ask me? Because I don't have
There
one.
wasn't. There wasn't.
I just don't.
Listen,
They ran the ball. Okay, so they ran the ball effectively for 2 weeks and then got away from it.
To me, listen, I put it like this. To me, the bright spot to me was they started fast. Those first two opening drives, they were. I don't know who's opening a bag of chips, but I'm finna start figuring it out. So somebody's making some strange noises. So we finna
I did
go
not. It's not
Let me see. Nope. All right. So to me, the fact that they came out fast and smoking, I enjoyed that. I thought that was a good thing for them to do. We got 85 people in the chat, 33 thumbs up, 2 thumbs down. I don't even know what the 2 thumbs downs can be for. If okay, so here we go. This is what Shade says he blame it on, and I gotta put this on here because Shade is still saying that this is not a coaching issue, and I'm not sure how he's come to. He says at Luke execution. We just didn't play well today or last week due to execution. Every play call is perfect, but it depends on which team can execute the best. I'm gonna tell you why that's a bunch of malarkey. I'm gonna tell you why. The reason that that's not true is because if that's the case, then more so than anything, you have to blame the coaching because they are on a 10 or 11 game losing streak, and every excuse that you can have is out the door. If they have not executed in 11 of those games, okay, they have not executed in 11 of those games. How do you overlook the coach and say it's anybody else but the coach? That's what I don't get. If you're going to still sit here and defend the head coach, then I'm going to sit here and say we need him for 2 more seasons. I'm not going to fight with nobody to prove the point that there's a coaching issue here. There's a problem in the coaching tree where players is not getting it. What you doing is not working. Why is the Washington Redskins coming in with a new head coach, or I'm sorry, the Washington football team coming in with a new head coach, and they're winning their opening game, but our guy's been here 3 seasons and he's 0-2-1. I'm not accepting that. We got 89 people in the chat. I only see about 40 likes and 1 thumbs down. I don't know how else this can be cleaned up. Let's go over to you, Ryder. Give me something positive that you saw from the Lions. Anything positive?
I mean, I thought the running backs played well with the carries that they got. You know, I was talking, I think it was with Jim before the show started, but like, you know, Adrian Peterson averaged almost 6 yards a carry. Kerryon Johnson averaged 4 yards a carry. DeAndre Swift caught 5 he had 5 catches off the 5 targets that he had. Like, I thought our running backs executed well today, but they just weren't utilized enough. Like, if your running backs are averaging 4 to 6 yards a carry, why are you only running the ball 21 times in the entire game? Like, I just feel like at that point, when your running backs are that good, they should have each gotten 20 attempts. Like, I feel like our running backs executed well when they were called upon, but they weren't called upon enough.
I mean, okay, all right. Now listen, let me do this. Let me switch it up, people. What was the matchup that you saw today that you felt exposed both teams the most? So we'll start this off with you, DeadPizza. What was that matchup that you felt exposed the Packers? And what matchup you felt exposed the Lions?
Run game. Run game.
Which is what I said at the beginning of the pregame show. I said their weakness is the run defense, but we're gonna leave that alone. Run game,
like it's specifically in the O lines and D line, like. Early, I was just like, maybe the commentators are talking about juice, the defensive juice and the crowds. I was like, maybe they need some energy or something because Packers D line was just looking like it was practice, like it was 7-on-7s and they was just kind of drilling. And the And the other half, Lions D line, they're getting pushed off the ball 3 yards off the ball every time. Every time, getting three yards off the ball every time. Aaron Jones running it down their throat. Jamal Williams running down the throat. And then even at the end of the game, you had AJ Dillon looking strong, looking real strong. Nobody wanted to tackle him. It took multiple people to tackle him. So to me, the biggest weakness that was shown by both teams is easily run defense. And the difference between the Packers and the Lions is Matt LaFleur stayed with it. Matt LaFleur was like, okay, we staying with it no matter what. And that was the difference.
All right. J-Mo, what do you think was the matchup that you think was that exposed both teams?
Man. The matchup of Matt Patricia messed it up. And that's the matchup. The matchup I think LaFleur knew he'll mess this up. We just gonna stick with our game plan, like what I think DeadPizza just said. Like they weren't running the ball well, like they weren't really playing that well, but they were just like, we'll just keep doing the same thing. It'll work eventually, and eventually it did. And that's my main thing on that, man. But with the Lions, the run game, I knew the run game would be effective. We all wondered if they would commit to it. Obviously, they refused to do that, so we lose the game.
Okay. Now Steve-O says our front seven look like a high school team out there, which is why we were talking about Jeff Okudah and that pick of him being third overall when you knew that you had that same problem going into that draft. That was the problem that you had. If you look at it right now, they went out, they invested in Big V. He ain't been on the field. They went out and invested in Okudah, third overall, and his first game being introduced to the NFL, he get the one team that I didn't want him to have to get that started against. I just don't understand. I personally think that they kept him out of the Bears game, not because he had a hamstring injury, but because they were trying to slowly bring him along. And to me, that's ridiculous. But that's why they look like that. So it is what it is. PD, let me ask you this, man, because I want to try to switch gears and I want to hit on everything. What the hell is wrong with Matthew Stafford? What's wrong with him? Like he just the last 2 weeks have been ugly. What do you think is wrong with Matthew Stafford? All right, I'm gonna bounce that question over there to you, Jim. What do you think is wrong with Matthew Stafford?
His O-line.
He had protection today.
Nah, he had some protection tonight. That was the one thing I was surprised about.
Really? How many sacks did he take? How many sacks did he take in the game? 3 sacks. Okay.
Yeah, but for the most part, he had protection.
He wasn't pressured that much.
Nope. And those sacks came once they knew the score was so up, like that all we can do is pass. They just started teeing off on there. But that protection was there though, surprisingly.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I saw something different there, I guess, but that's fine. And so I think it's some of that. I do think it's some of the play calling. I do, but I don't know. He just doesn't look himself. Maybe we did see him limp for a little while in the game, but who knows? Who knows what injuries he's dealing with too, but I have no idea what's going on. It looks like the whole team checked out in the second half.
Man, it did. That's what's terrible to me. Ryder, what do you think? What do you think is going on with Matthew Stafford, man? Because I seen him throw some passes that I'm like, God, you got like the one pass. I think it was like almost like a bump route.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, that pick six was terrible.
Yeah,
that was pretty terrible. It was low. It was low and flat, and it just, but again, is that because we're like, I'm gonna be honest with you. One of the biggest things I noticed in this game too was how they were using DeAndre Swift like Theo Reddick. I don't get this. I do not get this. Why are you using this guy that you took second in the second round of all the people you could have had? You took this guy and you're going to use him like Theo Reddick? Like why? I don't get it. But Ryder, what do you think is really, you think something going on with Stafford? You think,
I mean, apart from the fact that I think Stafford at this point just feels like he has to carry this offense, because at this point he can't rely on his coaching staff and he can rely on his running backs, but if his running backs are only getting the ball, 8 times a game, then you can't rely on them for most of the game. So, I don't know what's wrong with him other than the fact that he probably just feels like he has to carry this offense because, without him making aggressive throws, without him pushing the ball down the field, the defense ain't going to stop anybody. The coaches aren't going to help him out. So, I mean, Stafford, it's kind of all back on him again. And, he's being forced to make some more dangerous passes, I think.
All right. J-Mo, what do you think is wrong with Stafford? We know you don't play when it comes to Stafford, but even you got to admit these last 2 weeks have been
No, he was playing great until that pick six. That pick six, I'm like, fam. But I thought we were going to run the ball on that play, which is why I was double mad. I don't think anything's wrong with it.
I even predicted it. I was like, oh, pick six coming. Because
it's predictable. Like, but
I was like,
don't think
pick
it's wrong
six.
with Stafford. We just have to change the philosophy of the team, and we got to stop playing this hero ball. Like he always is going to feel like the play that he got sacked on. Why do you think he's even holding the ball that long? Because he knows if I don't drop 35 today, we going home. Now we still went home. But my point is,
go ahead, my bad.
I don't think nothing's wrong with him. I just think he has made some bad decisions, and you need to learn how to run the football at the right times and manage the quarterback a little bit better. What was you gonna say?
Go ahead, Ray.
You know what he remind me of?
What's that?
This same situation remind me of the Packers and Mike McCarthy, bro. Aaron Rodgers always switching up the plays. He just didn't have an interest in what was being called. That's exactly what I read from Matthew Stafford in that second half. That first half, he was lights out. When he threw that pick six, it was over with after that. It just seemed like he just clocked out. I honestly don't think there's nothing wrong with him. Besides, maybe
it's not nothing wrong with him. He just made some bad decisions.
I don't think it's
like,
nothing wrong with him.
Just gotta make better decisions, and you take the ball out of his hands. Like you have to use the gunslinger in the right way. I always look at like Big Ben and the way the Steelers built around him. And he's the gunslinger. Yes, he's made big plays in the Super Bowl, but that was a running defensive team. And to this day, it's still a running defensive team with a good O-line, and he only has to do so much. And the Lions it's Superman Stafford. Say, come save the day. Like that's never going to work.
In the let me jump in because, like I said, I want to make sure we all get a chance to be heard. So, Rage, finish your thought, and then we'll bounce it over to you, DeadPizza, so you can get your thought out too.
I was just saying, like the O-line didn't have a bad game up until the fourth quarter when they allowed them 3 sacks. Other than that, they was playing lights out the whole game, like no pressures or nothing.
Right. DeadPizza, what is your final? What is your thoughts on this?
I think it's a lot of mental. I think it's a lot of the mental part for Stafford. I think a lot of it came down to him realizing, oh crap, I gotta carry again. Because you have to think about it. He goes down the field and first drive, they go right down the field, score a touchdown. Packers respond with a field goal. The only reason why they got a field goal was because of drops. And so I think Stafford's starting to think, okay, our defense is in trouble. And so he's going to start to try to hold the ball a lot longer. He's going to try to make plays. And that's kind of what I was kind of alluding to in the pregame was that if the Packers just keep scoring over and over and over and over, and they just keep going on long drives, it's not going to matter how much you run the ball because eventually your guy's going to have to step back. Eventually, Stafford's going to try to test that secondary. Eventually, he's going to have to start trying to pass the football. And after that third, I would say after he got popped and he came up injured, I think that was the moment he just mentally checked out. And that was before the pick six. After that moment, he just started to kind of check out. You could tell with the throws, they were wide. He was throwing a lot of Trubisky's. He just didn't seem like he really cared. He just kind of wanted to get out of there.
Well, I think one of the biggest things that I noticed that I feel personally is wrong with Stafford is this. I think he's tired of having to be the one to carry it all. I felt like he was I felt like the competitor in him is like, man, not this crap again. Not again. Yeah. And to me, that falls on coaching. You have to sometimes get out of a player's way. Believe it or not, Aaron Rodgers, for the most part, was stagnant at about like 100 and something yards of passing on a few things because they just committed to the run. They committed to it. And
only 129.
Yeah, and the worst part about it is not only did they commit to the run, once they got up by 2 possessions, they turned on all the blitz. The floodgates were open. They were launching it out, and the team keep getting out coached. But I think overall that this is one of the things where we look at this team and time in and time out, the question now becomes, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to ask everybody this question. Is this hold on one second? Is this enough for Matt Patricia to now get fired? We're gonna start that off with you, J-Mo.
No.
Is this enough for him to get
Now,
fired?
I wanted to say, if you look at Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, yeah, he's Aaron Rodgers, but they had got rid of McCarthy because they want Aaron Rodgers to do less. And look at the team. So, but of course, come on, man, that's a rhetorical question. Like, he should have been fired after the first game this season, but they probably won't fire until we go 0-4. It is what it is.
All right, what say you, Ryder? Is this enough for Matt Patricia to now get fired?
I mean, going 0-11 in your last 11 games and being, not even just doing that, but losing in the fashion that the Lions had done in the last 11 games, like, especially being a defensive guy, if your defense is the weak part of your team and you are if you are a coach that comes from a defensive background, there is no excuse for you. And I don't care if there's injuries. I don't care if it's COVID. I don't care, if your starting quarterback got hurt. If you are a defensive coach, no matter who you have on the field, your defense should be good. And, I think you were the one a couple weeks ago that was said, Mike Zimmer had that quote where they're like talking about his young defense. He goes, I never had a bad defense.
Yep,
and,
I never had a bad defense.
And, he's had a lot of different players. He's had a lot of young players in his defenses before, and he's always made it work because he is a good defensive-minded coach.
But he's also 0-2.
Well,
but
he's also taking his team to the
But that's because they kind of
wait a minute. Too many people talking. Hold on. Go ahead. Respond to that, Ryder. He said he's also 0-2.
Mike Zimmer has also taken his team to the NFC Championship. Mike Zimmer has also, had a top 5 defense almost every single year. Like, Mike Zimmer coaches a lot of very good defenses, and one off year, and not even an off year, off 2 games maybe. And how many points did they give up today? I didn't see. Like, it's the genuine question.
See it either. I didn't see it either.
I don't think it was that many though. Like, I don't think they gave up that many. And yeah, they gave up a lot against the Packers, but he has a young defense, and I guarantee I
think it was 15.
Okay, they gave up
15
more
No,
than
they
that
gave
whole
up
game.
28.
28? They scored again?
28.
Jesus.
28 to the Colts.
Okay. So even if, so they're not having a great season. Mike Zimmer still had a lot of years of coaching really, really good defenses. And by the end of the season, the Vikings defense is going to be right back there. Because, yeah, you could have new players and have some speed bumps, but what I care about is the end of the season. What I care about is how can you coach these guys up after learning your players? How can you coach these guys up after you've seen how they play? And, Mike Zimmer has shown me that he can adapt to his players and put them in right positions. Matt Patricia has not shown me that.
All right, we got 90 in the chat, 46 likes, 2 thumbs down. Again, I'm not even sure what the 2 thumbs downs are. Unless you just hate the Lions or you hate us, but I don't know how you could thumbs this down. The Lions have been almost a running joke since this guy has come in here, and the whole thing is he's changing the culture. And I remember asking this a few months back that listen, is he changing the culture for the good or is he changing it for the worse? And to me, I've heard people say give him 5 years, give him 4 years, give him 3 years. I was done at the first season. I was done. I thought we should have did what the Cardinals did, but hey, we here now. Look, my son is done too. He's like, I can't take it no more with this guy. he can't. Every time I say the word Patricia, he just got to let the anger out. But
I feel that.
But let me go down to you, old timer Dave. Let me ask you this: do you think this is enough for him to get fired? Did the Packers do enough of embarrassing this guy for him to get fired? As an outsider looking in,
absolutely. And like I said earlier, and I just want to mention this to Titan. I don't think you want Darrell Bevell to take over either. I think Darrell Bevell needs to go right out alongside of him. Ultimately, it's his offense because Patricia couldn't call an offense if he had to. And he's the one that's making these changes. And the way he calls this game is so stupid. They were literally beating us up and down the field. And then he goes completely away from what worked and says, okay, now we're 14 points ahead. We're just going to throw the ball around, have fun. And it didn't work. Did he get back to what he needed to do? No. And that's where the problem comes in, is Patricia should have went to him and said, what the hell are you doing? It doesn't make any sense. It's stupid.
Good
Get
point.
back to what we were doing.
Good points. And I think that's where my confusion come in at. Your job as head coach is to make sure that car is running at its top like performance. And to me, I'm not seeing that week in and week out. I'm not seeing that. If what happened right now was happening in Kansas City, that head coach is fired. If what's happening right now in Detroit happens in Seattle, that head coach is fired. If what's happening right now happens on damn near any other team but Detroit, they're fired. Hands down. And to me, we keep making excuses. Now, I got this question up here because Shay wants to know, and I love me some Shay because Shay is strong in his conviction. He says, do you guys think the real problem with the Lions losing is the fans jinxing the team? All right, I'm going to start this off with Packers fans and work my way up to the Lions fan. Yes or no, DeadPizza? Do you think the real problem with the Lions losing is the fans jinxing the team? Okay. RageMk. RageMk. Do you think the real problem with the Lions losing is the fans jinxing the team?
I mean, I live in Louisiana, so that voodoo stuff, what I'm saying, is real down here to people. So I mean, it could be. Like, think about it. Like all y'all Lions fans, y'all all picked Green Bay to win. Y'all all said that y'all ain't really got no expectations for the season. I mean, in the whole, whole Motor City could feel like that. So maybe
but look at Jacksonville though. Like,
but Ray, you gotta remember.
Wait a minute. Let Rage finish. We're gonna get to everybody.
Before y'all take my head off, I get it. I understand. Like, you sick and tired of losing every single season when y'all think it's something brand new supposed to be coming because they done promised y'all something brand. I get it. Don't get me wrong. But like I said, I'm from Louisiana, so voodoo and jinxing, that stuff is people really believe in that stuff. So I mean, it could be.
PD, do you think the real problem with the Lions losing is the fans jinxing the team?
Luke, you gave me one great piece of advice. There's one side of the story, there's another side of the story, and somewhere in the middle is the truth. And how does that relate to this question? I think it certainly has something to do with it. Like, we've had people in our chat, and I'm sure you people in the chat know who you are. Like, when you just say, this player sucks, and you just say they suck, just to say that they suck. It's like, okay, I guess. Like, why do they suck? Elaborate. I'm trying to, like, we just bash our team. Like, we bash our team without a purpose. Like, I know, Luke, you've ripped on Matt Patricia, but you've done it with a purpose. Like, we just do it with no purpose.
And facts behind it.
Yeah. No, like, but you know what I'm saying? Like, we just bash certain things about certain things. We just bash certain things just because we can, like we treat them like, yeah, I think there's truth to it, I guess is what I'm getting at. But
okay. Old timer Dave, let me ask you, do you think that this losing could be because fans are jinxing the team?
Yeah, I guess it could be in a way, because no matter how many people think that it's not, it still gets back to the players, whether it's on your show, it's on stuff coming from the networks, it still gets back to them. And it's really hard. Then they get the idea where, well, why should I play if the fans don't want us to do anything, or if they're not for us?
Okay.
That's kind of what I'm getting at, Jay.
Okay. All right. J-Mo, do you think the real problem is the Lions are losing because fans are jinxing the team?
Well, I'm gonna just give my final thoughts. I don't got that much to say. No, because every Lions fan, well, not everyone except for you, but people thought we would at least have a winning record. We like, all right, just don't lose to the Bears. What do we say? I mean, we did a campaign about what would happen if we lose to the Bears. The Bears was the game. As soon as that happened, that's when the sky's falling. We beat the Bears. Who cares? We lose to the Packers. We move on, you know. But once we lost that game, every Lions fan woke up. Like every Lions fan I know, except for like a couple people on YouTube, thought we were winning that game, and we didn't because we blew a lead. So it is what it is. But like I tried to warn y'all last week that this team wasn't gonna be good after that debacle. Y'all didn't believe me. But just set Matthew Stafford free. I hope he finds another team. I hope RageMk scenario comes true and we get Trevor Lawrence and Dabo, because that's the only hope at this point.
Eric
But
enemy.
shout out to everybody, man.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. Dad will
Hey, we need a miracle over here, man. Just blow it up, get rid of it here now. You know. But shout out to all the Packers fans that came on, man. Y'all ain't have a rough salt in the wound because y'all knew y'all was gonna win today. So it's all good, man. It's all good. I'm out of here, man. But
all right, J-Mo, man. Listen, you know J-Mo, man, when he don't even say sign Kenny Galladay. He just flat out went to fire Matt Patricia. He completely forgot that Kenny Galladay ain't been signed. He like, no, fire Matt Patricia. I feel you, man. Listen, we ain't gonna be on too much longer neither. So listen, Jim, what are you thinking, man? Do you think that you know what? I'm just gonna go through it. Jim, do you think that, yes or no, like real talk, that the fans are jinxing the team? That's why they losing.
No, I don't. The reason I don't is because of the fact that most of the Lions fans drink the Kool-Aid. Most of them think that we're going to be good.
Exactly.
So how in the world can we be jinxing the team when they're the ones that turn us off?
I drink the Kool-Aid. Shoot.
Right.
I thought y'all was gonna be okay.
And I'm gonna be honest,
you,
man. I'm gonna be honest, man. To me, the question to me is ridiculous. Last year, the fans were all 100% behind it. This year, fans were on my head for saying we wasn't going to be good and for saying that I have no faith in this team because of who the head coach is. So no, if the fans are jinxing the team, we should be winning, because this fan base every year thinks we're going to win. So if we are jinxing the team for thinking we're going to win, what would you do? Think that they're going to lose? I do not believe that the fan, and this is coming from somebody who first video ever on YouTube was I got beef with Lions fans, because I saw where they were actively going on social media feeds attacking players, and I'm like, y'all are ridiculous. Like, you have people getting mad that Matthew Stafford didn't come to a practice after his wife had brain surgery. Like, oh, you just gonna forget the team, huh? Oh, you don't want to practice, huh? Oh, so your wife got a brain tumor? Okay. You want sympathy? Look it up between shit and syphilis. Okay, I don't care. But that's how they was doing this, man. I'm like, this is crazy.
That's
but
horrible.
No, we are not.
They were. I saw it. They were.
Yeah, like no, we are not jinxing this team. Like I said, it's been a rough day for everybody, and I understand it, but it's no way. Like I don't even like. For me, the answer to fixing this is easier. The thing is this. I don't know how this can be the case for a guy to be 9-24-1, and we're talking about the fans as being the problem for this losing. That's ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Ryder, what do you think?
Laughed.
Ryder, what do you think, man? Do you think that the fans are jinxing the team?
Personally, I don't believe in jinxing. You know,
Facts.
And if you do, that's totally fine. I'm not calling you stupid if you believe in that kind of stuff, but I don't believe in it. There's no reason for me to believe what I say on my YouTube channel has anything to do with Darrell Bevel's thinking process and why we're not running the ball more. Because if I was jinxing the team, you know, we'd be running the ball 40 times a game. Like if what I said had anything to do with the Lions, you know, winning or losing, I'm hyping the Lions up. So, you know, and I don't know a whole lot of people before the season that were down on the Lions. So there's no, even if it was real, there's no way that it would be the fans' fault. It's on Patricia. There's nobody else to blame.
Listen, we got other people in here who are Packers fans. He says that he's a Packer fan, been one his whole life because he's from Milwaukee. Okay, you know, Milwaukee got himself, but the Lions have always sucked and always will. And that right there is not the case. I don't think they will always suck. I think the problem is we keep allowing our team to be the proving ground for these coaches. The reason I don't want an Eric Bellamy, or the reason I no longer now want a Robert Salazar or Salazar, whatever his name is, I don't want these coordinators, is because I want a proven winning head coach. And if that means it's a proven winning head coach from college who's not coming in to take over, go out and get Jim Harbaugh at this damn point. You cannot tell me Jim Harbaugh, look what he did with Colin Kaepernick and that team and how he brought talent in and how they played. Like you cannot tell me that it takes this long for a coach to get it together. You just can't.
I'm gonna be devil's advocate. Look what he did to Michigan. I mean,
listen, fair enough, but that's different.
That's an entirely different style of like coaching. Like that's recruiting.
Listen.
You said you wanted a winner. You said you wanted a winner.
He went to the Super Bowl. He went to the Super Bowl with the 49ers,
and then stunk for 5+ years.
Yeah, but that was because of
I don't know, bro.
Like nobody could have saw Patrick Willis retiring
right. And I'm not even saying all that. I'm just saying this. All I'm pointing out to you is there are coaches who have more proven track records than letting somebody else come here and practice on being the head coach. Now, Matt Patricia may get fired from here and may go on to get another head coaching job somewhere else, and he may be great there, but all his flaws were used up here. And I have a problem with that. Like I have a problem with this idea that people get to come here and use all their flaws up here.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, with that being said, with your sentiment, with that being said, who is an ideal candidate for you?
For me, I've been saying this name from the get-go. I will stand by it. I want David Shaw from Stanford.
Interesting.
I want David Starr. This man keep putting together teams who are challenging the top. This dude, he's winning against some of the top teams in college football and challenged them. Some of them he beat, some of them that came to a close call, but he has challenged them. He has found a way to motivate his players. He's constantly getting players drafted. And on top of all that, the only thing he's waiting on is a perfect opportunity where he has total control. That's all he's waiting on.
And Stafford not even a power school too. So,
man, listen. I'm just saying. Like to me, if you go back and you look at all the college, like look at what that guy over there. What's his name? Queensberry, whatever. Over in Carolina.
Queensberry.
All he's doing is literally going to get the talent. He don't care about nothing else. He don't care how they fit into the scheme. He cares about the talent. That's it. So listen.
Cliff Kingsbury.
Listen. I don't want to keep y'all too long. I got too many videos to drop and make.
Right. I got one thing on that too. I'm so sick of the Patriot way, the New Orleans way, the St. Louis way. Let's bring in Mike Martz all the way back. Let's do it the Lions way. Let's find our own way. Why do we always have to copy somebody else and bring somebody else in, someone else's regime and someone else's cast-offs from other teams? I hate that stuff. I really do. I think we need to start fresh. I do believe we need to have our own culture, our own identity, and do it that way.
Listen. It's how many games has he been here? 34? 35?
Something like that.
Okay. What the hell is the Lions' identity? In 30-something games. What is the Lions' identity?
The losing way.
Okay, hold on. What is the Lions' culture? All I've been hearing is he's changing the culture, and changing culture takes time. What is the Lions culture?
They don't have one. What's a losing culture for one?
I just don't understand. What are we talking about?
Hey, you know what's crazy?
What's that?
You know what's crazy? Me personally, I know a lot of y'all might be expecting Matt Patricia to be fired mid-season. I don't think Matt Patricia gonna be fired mid-season because the way I see it, if I'm the Ford family and if I'm looking at what the Ford family does, Kenny Galladay went down. There was COVID. It might be a bit hard on him to put in his OTAs and all that. Knowing the Ford family, knowing y'all GM situation, knowing Bob Quinn, I wouldn't be surprised if they said, let's run him back another season. I wouldn't be surprised. That's my whole issue. It comes down to, I've always said this. I know that the Ford family owns Michigan, owns, Detroit, but the Ford family has to go. You have to put in some, the fish rots from the head down. The fish rots the fish rots from the head down. And no matter how much you cut off this fish, if that head is still rotting, the whole thing is ruined. You got to get rid of that family. It's got to go. I
But
don't know if y'all got to.
who's gonna buy a losing organization
and keep them
Somebody-
here. And keep them here.
Like,
that's the part.
that's what-
And keep them
like
here.
you say that like it's easy, and I get it, but who is literally
Honest-
you need a billionaire. I'm talking about like a Jeff Bezos.
Mhm.
And ain't nobody just got 6 point.
It's possible because I know the
$9.8
Illiches
billion
wanted it
dollars.
before. I know the
Who?
Illiches wanted it. The Red Wing owner wanted it before, but I don't think they want it anymore. But that's the only people I can think of. I don't want the Pistons owner, that's for sure.
Listen, if
I
Jeff
mean,
if Jeff Bezos buys this team, I'm just putting it out there to y'all. Y'all
Man,
got to
look.
understand something. If Jeff Bezos buys this team is moving, hands down.
What?
He is
He
smart
paying
enough.
people out of pocket. What is you talking?
No, listen, the team is moving. I'm gonna tell you why. The team is moving because he understands that my product needs to make me money. In order for it to make me money, I need to be in an area where the product can sell. He can't sell the Detroit Lions.
That's
He might
very
be
true.
able to sell the Toronto Lions. He might be able to sell the let me see which one of these states that don't got a damn
Alabama.
football. The Alabama Lions. He might be able to sell anybody
The
else.
Nevada
Lions.
Lions.
Right.
Wait, let me ask you a question. When have we had trouble selling out Ford Field?
That's not the point. That's
It
not
is
point.
the point. You're saying you can't make no money.
No. I'm saying that he's a guy who's
In
trying to
terms of marketing,
he's
and,
in terms of marketing and maximizing profits.
you can't
Detroit is
market
not it.
Detroit.
It's not it.
Market Detroit. I'm gonna be honest, but maybe y'all could do something like we got in Green Bay or something. Maybe it's the city
Ooh,
team.
I like
I
that
don't
idea.
know, but it's gotta that Ford family gotta go because how many years? We're on decades now, where y'all keep making the same mistake over and over and over and over and over again, and expecting things to change. That's insanity.
The only hard thing is though, who is going to buy a losing?
And let me just
organization?
jump in really quick because I'm going to jump to the final thought. Well, hold on. Let me jump in for 1 minute because I want to point this out too. That okay, I want to point this out really quick. That when talking about this team making movements in the right direction, and I've seen some suggestions like let the fans vote on it. Fans don't get the fans are the reason we got 7 receivers back to back. They're the reason we got Roy Williams. They're the reason why we got Mike Williams. They're the reason why we picked up Charles Rogers. It's because the fans were out there rooting for. We get these guys. We can't have that.
But we were also rooting for Aaron Donald too.
Yeah, but that was Jim Caldwell saying that I thought we was getting away from bigger, fast, smaller guys. We wanted bigger and faster. So I'm just pointing out that this comes with having somebody with coaching experience and having somebody who can have control. We got to change the way we do things, and that's just the reality of it. Let me go ahead and get a final thought because, like I said, man, I got too many things I got to do for the day. So we'll go down starting with you, Ryder. Give me your final thoughts on the day and on this game.
Well, this team has disappointed me again. I was one of the people in the offseason that was very confident. I still think this team has a lot of talent, but I'm now convinced that this coaching staff does not have the ability to use the talent effectively. So, it sucks because I feel like we're wasting everybody's talent this year. People are talking about, Stafford's being wasted. Everybody on this team is being wasted. Jamie Collins went from being one of the best defensive players in the NFL to being ejected for headbutting referees. Like, everybody on this roster, I think, is being wasted at the moment. And until the coaching changes, until the play calls change, it's going to be the same thing over and over and over again. And it really sucks. That's all I got. It sucks.
All right, really quick. General Review says Detroit is a big market. You tripping, Luke? We were in the running to host the draft in a few years, a Super Bowl, all those concerts at Ford Field, etc. That doesn't make us a big market. Okay, they allowed us to get the Super Bowl here, like they're gonna do every other new stadium, so they can get people to come to the stadium, thus giving the stadium a chance to get started up and get people to fall in love with it. This is what they do. But if you go through and you look at the Dallas Cowboys and all those years that they suck, all the years that the Dallas Cowboys suck, they weren't getting games blacked out. We were. Okay, we were. In certain markets, have multiple teams because their market is that big. It's a reason why Florida has so many teams in that market because they can do that. New York has so many teams in that market because they can do that. Texas has so many teams in that market because they can do that. California, I think, got how many goddamn basketball teams? How many football teams?
I don't get that because if we're so bad, how do we have 4 teams?
Well, the thing is this. The reason that we have the 4 teams
They've
here
been here.
is because they've been here and the culture of
old.
tradition has been here. But I think when you look at the market as in terms of having another market for a football team, we're not talking about all of them. I'm just talking about the football teams. California has the Chargers and they have the Rams and they used to have the Raiders, but they had 3 teams. And then you go over to Texas. They got the Texans. They got the Dallas Cowboys. Florida has California got the 49ers too. Can't forget them. And then you go over to places like Florida, Buccaneers, Jacksonville, Dolphins. I mean, look at these markets. They're not getting blackouts like we were getting blackouts. And I'm just saying that I don't think our market is there. But go ahead, Joe. You your final thoughts on today's game and today?
Who? Me?
Yes, you, Joe.
Oh, sorry about that. I didn't hear the name. It's cool. No, I mean, I love the fact that we're all in here together and we have differing opinions and different teams and everything. We still come together, and even though we lost, we still have football, man. There was so much question in the offseason whether we'd actually have games or not. And I know the games aren't going our way this year for the Lions, but I'm just, I'm just happy to see football. I don't know if it's good football at this point yet, but at least we get to see that and we get to have people, we get to meet new people, new friends, all that stuff. So I really appreciate you guys from Green Bay coming in here. I really appreciate that. That's one thing. And then everybody in the chat, I feel your pain too. It's so long losing. I've been a fan for 43 years and going on 44. So it's a long time of suffering. And there has to be an end at some point. And I think there will be. I don't think it's with this coach, but I just want to thank every single person in the chat, every single person on the panel, whether we agree or disagree. We just love football. All of us do. So thank you, everybody.
Absolutely. Rage, what are your final thoughts for the people?
Man, look, we need to start a petition. Get Jeff Bezos to give me $10 billion. I'll buy the team from the Fords, and then we can come together as a group and pick everybody from the top down. We firing everybody. That's my plan.
Sounds good to me.
And those are my final thoughts. Book it. No, I'm messing with you. But on for real though, like it was fun hanging out with y'all boys again. I mean, it was a hard fought match. Like I said, y'all always play us tough, especially at the beginning. But I'm glad you guys had me on. I hope to see you guys next time we play the Lions. Maybe it'll be a little bit more competitive that time. If not, oh well. Still here for the fun and just showing my support. Appreciate it.
Man, listen, we appreciate that support. We really do. Like I said, you a Packers fan, so even when win, lose, or draw, you still be here to talk. So that's the truth. Old Timer Dave, man. Old Timer Dave, I don't know how he stumbled upon me, but he has been rocking with me for a long time, man. What are your final thoughts, man? Because I could not be more happy that you came on and rock with us today.
I'm going to answer your question, Luke. I found you one day by accident because something popped up in my suggested videos about a Packer fan being on a Detroit Lions panel. And being as we were playing the Lions, I figured I'd just come in and troll it. And I had fun. You guys actually welcomed me in. It was a blast. And we actually talked about doing this last year, but I'm glad I was in here. I had a blast with every one of you. Thanks for having me in. I appreciate it. And I really think that there's got to be a significant change somewhere in Detroit, whether it starts with the Fords or it starts with Patricia, Bevel. Something's got to happen. Something's got to happen to put some excitement into Lions football again. Because what I'm seeing right now, it's gone. There is none. It's people know they're going to lose when they get up. They don't even want to watch the game. It's just not there. They got to do something somehow to get some excitement back in the game. And until they do, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, this is your Detroit Lions.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, man. That's it. Petey, what are your final thoughts?
Well, I don't really have much to say. Thanks everyone for coming in, even after a terrible game. You all still showed up. Thanks for everyone to being on the panel. Thanks to the Packers fans for being good sports and willing to come on and chill with us. But yeah, it's a rough season so far. Hopefully it gets better. And I know that sounds stupid. No one wants to hear that. It almost sounds like BS, but hopefully it gets better. And yeah, just thanks everyone for coming in. We hope you enjoyed the show.
All right. And DeadPizza, what is your final thoughts?
Well, first, I'm always internally grateful for you guys having me come on and just talking football. I love talking football. I love talking sports. But I got to say is sell the team. You got to sell the team, or maybe you guys can set up what we have in Green Bay and have public ownership. Because what is happening right now is it reminds me, I'm a Cubs fan. It reminds me a lot of what was happening with the Wrigley's and what was happening then, where we were simply just waiting for the owner to pass and their kids to sell the team off or something. I think that's the issue that's going on here. You guys the team's gotta be sold off. It's gotta go somewhere. That's my final thoughts. I love Detroit. I love the Lions because they're my I think of them like a little brother, that's constantly stumbling and falling. I'm always kind of rooting for him to do some good. And yeah, thanks for having me on. Sell the team.
Okay. Listen, again, to my Packers people who jumped in here with us, man, we appreciate y'all for rocking with us. And also just they not just like subscribers of mine. They in the Discord. We talking about sports in Discord. We're talking about video games, wrestling, boxing, rapping, TV shows, random stuff. We just have a good old time. So I appreciate y'all for coming through. To my DSA members who came in the building, the 313 JMOs, the PD Sports, to the ones who could not make it on the day, the RachelMarieSports, the real Detroit Lions fans, Detroit Drew. A lot of people didn't even come on because they were just pissed off. I'm gonna be honest with you. We got a lot of members, but a lot of them were just pissed off and was angry at what is occurring here. To Ryder coming in the building, to Jim and Lions on the Prowl, to Tim, who's probably at work making this money. So, appreciate all of you. I always want to end the show on a positive note, people. Oh, wait, Eric Brandon said, "What up, Luke? What's going on, man?" This positive quote comes from Warren Buffett. He says, "You will continue to suffer if you have an emotional reaction to everything that is said to you. True power is sitting back and observing things with logic. True power is restraint. If words control you, that means everyone else can control you. Breathe and allow things to pass." I say that to say this about the Detroit Lions and about us as fans. We cannot allow this thing to move us. What we have to do is control what we can do. If that means that you take a personal moment to boycott the team where you don't watch games, or where you start a petition, or you want to voice your opinion, whatever it is that you think needs to be done to help get the point across, you do it. But make sure that you are doing it, not because they are moving you, not because words are moving you, not because somebody else felt the need to say something to you to move you. You are the only one who can control themselves. Make sure you keep your control, because the moment you give it away, the moment you can no longer think for yourself. Now put that in your pipe and smoke it. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to join us. Please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, notification bell. Check out my featured channel section. Everybody that I rock with are featured there. So you want to do that. All the members of the DSA is featured there. And as always, remember, be nice and kind to each other, and don't be no chump. Please do your research. We are out.